Skip, he outsmarted himself by inserting Gronk into the game. What he should, and normally they put Gronk in when there's a Hail Mary situation at the end, and they take one of their defensive backs out because Gronk is 6'6.5", and he's there to jump up and knock the ball down. But here's the thing: this is where Coach Belichick outsmarted himself. Ryan Tannehill had missed a month of the season with an injured shoulder. He had injured his ankle earlier in the game. So, Skip, what's the likelihood with that injury or those injuries, he can throw the ball 75 yards? I believe at this juncture of the season, there's one guy that can launch the ball 75 yards and get into the end zone. And he doesn't play for the Dolphins. He plays for Kansas City. That's Patrick Mahomes. What he should have done is, once Coach Belichick saw the way they lined up, it's called timeout. Put the DB back in and take Gronk out. Because you want Gronk in a batted ball situation, not in a tackling situation. So, as Tannehill and Drake is explaining it, he picks up a great block from 62, Skip. His lineman threw the key block because he's way down the field, and the guy's about to tackle Drake from the side. 62 peels off, hits him, and so now Drake has a full head of steam against Gronk one-on-one. You can put Gronk in that situation 10 times, and with a full head of steam, he'll never tackle Kenyon Drake. That's not what Gronk is going to go to the Hall of Fame for. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame for catching passes, not tackling. And so in that situation, Skip, you knew he had no chance. So in that, I'm just saying this. I believe Coach Belichick outsmarted himself. But, Holly, it should have never come down to this. Because I know a guy, Skip Bayless sits on across this desk, and he's told me for the last 2 years, that's the GOAT. Where the GOAT doesn't take a sack with 14 seconds left in the half, with no timeout. He doesn't do that. His final 6 possessions. If you don't mind, Skip Bayless, because I know the people don't have the stat sheet.
Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn. Would you stop interrupting me?
No, you just asked me.
I'm just asking you.
I think you were struggling, and so I was.
No, I'm not struggling. But I want to tell the people at home, in the New England Patriots' last 6 possessions, with the GOAT at quarterback, they got 6 points. The GOAT got 6 points. They had 27 at the half. They got 6 more points for the game. That doesn't sound goatish to me. That sounds like lowercase g. That sounds like they're trying to scapegoat Coach Belichick, who happens to be the GOAT of head NFL coaches. Coach Belichick outsmarted himself, but the play should have never happened because it should have never come down to this. If I got the GOAT, and I got him in a situation, I couldn't believe he admitted this, because Skip Bayless told me last year when LeBron James, he didn't know there was a timeout left, Jenny. And he said, if you're the GOAT, you're supposed to know that. Tom Brady said he didn't know. I thought we had another timeout. Oh, golly gee whiz. Oh, golly gee whiz, Tom Brady didn't know you didn't have a timeout. You took a sack and you took points off the board.
Shouldn't have come down to this, Skip.
But what says you?
My turn.
It's your turn.
So, yesterday I'm watching by myself, and I have 2 TVs. I have one up on top, and I have one on the bottom.
Okay.
And unlike the Hall of Famer across from me, I listen to the sound on both. So I am watching Patrick Mahomes dueling with Lamar Jackson up on top, and I'm watching Tom Brady try to beat his ghosts in Miami, where it's just house of horrors. Once again, they've lost 5 out of their last 6.
How you listen to 2 sound TVs?
Dude, that's a lot to process.
I just got it. I have dual hearing.
More than anything else, that's the most impressive thing I've heard today.
So, within a span of 5 real minutes, 2 things happen at once. I'm thinking, I got this, I got this, I got this. Because if you remember at the end of Friday's show, I picked Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to upset Kansas City in Kansas City. And that's way out on a limb. And they've got them 24-17 because young Lamar played his young tail off in that game. Again, they catered to what he does best, but that will work.
Yes.
It's Tebow-esque, if you will. It's letting Lamar do what Lamar does best, but he threw the heck out of it, too, when it mattered most.
He did.
Some big 3rd downs and a big touchdown throw, and all of a sudden, it's 24-17 Ravens. And Tom Brady has done what Tom Brady always does. He drove them for the field goal that looked like it iced the game, and it looks like with 7 seconds left in Miami, guess who's going to have the #1 seed in the AFC all of a sudden? It looks like New England has done it again. They're back in the driver's seat in the AFC because they already beat Patrick Mahomes head-to-head.
Right.
And boom, boom. Patrick Mahomes, we're going to talk about this in just a moment, he rolls out to his right, and he throws the luckiest pass I've seen since the Eli Super Bowl pass in the first Super Bowl against Brady into the middle of the field, and somehow Tyreek catches it, and all of a sudden, it's going to overtime.
That was 4th and 9. When
I know, 4th and 9. 4th and 9. The game's going to be over.
It is.
It's going to be over. And then the Miami miracle happens right before my very eyes, and once again, I fall on my carpet, and I do snow angels on the carpet because I'm just saying this cannot happen. This cannot have happened on my 2 TVs within 5 clock minutes of each other. The whole AFC flipped onto its head. And now we're back to the Miami miracle. This is yet another indication, as I've been telling you again and again, I know this is pure blasphemy, Bill Belichick is losing his fastball. He is losing his genius label. Maybe he's losing some interest and some heart because he was forced to keep Tom Brady and he was forced to trade Jimmy Garoppolo to San Francisco. I don't know, but I know for a fact this is horrendously bad what he did, not only on the last play, but the way his defense performed in Miami yesterday is not exactly genius label defense. So back to your point. Let's stress this again. If Ryan Tannehill has a bad shoulder that he's still fighting with and a bad plant foot that has cost him some snaps in the game.
Yeah.
He had to get both feet taped and came back into the game. What's his range? He's backed up to his 31, so he's going to throw it from the 21, which is where he threw the last pass from. So if he's going to throw a Hail Mary, what's his Hail Mary range?
He ain't throwing it 80 yards.
Okay, seriously.
45, 50 yards top.
I wrote down maybe 60 max, but I don't think he had 60 in it yesterday.
No, sir.
50 yards, okay?
Yes.
Can he throw it to the other 30-yard line?
Yeah.
And you've put in, think about this, you put in Rob Gronkowski to defend a Hail Mary in the end zone in place of Devin McCourty. He is your defensive captain for 8 years running. Mm-hmm. He is the fastest player on your defense.
Right.
How do you defend a lateral play at the end of the game? You need speed, right? That's the number one component to defend the lateral play. You don't need height. And here we get back to Gronkowski. Did you watch him yesterday? He's just broken down. He looks like a Frankenstein monster. Seriously.
Especially on that play.
He runs like Frankenstein. He can't run. He can't jump. Well, I don't want him defending even a Hail Mary because I don't think he can.
Skip, I don't know if you noticed it, but I think something happened also. I think Kyle Van Noy was supposed to spy on Kenyon Drake.
Maybe.
He got caught
He had a shot on the sideline and missed him. He was behind him.
But you look at what he did is that he lined up because he tried to fool him.
He did.
He lined up on one side, and Kenyon Drake waited and waited and waited. He's like, well, okay. And then he lost sight of him. And by the time he realized that Drake had slipped out, he started to chase. Mm-hmm. And once he didn't get him down, so now you're already down the tackler, and you got a guy on the back end that's there to knock the ball down and not tackle.
So, what happens to start the play? Another one of those undrafted free agents that Belichick loves because that polishes his genius label. Because look who I found. I found Jonathan Jones, undrafted out of Auburn 3 years ago. And he's got a shot at Kenny Stills. Shannon, if he just attacks him and wraps him up as he catches the football, just wrap him up. Just wrap him up.
Yep.
He can't lateral. If he does, it's just going to be on the ground and somebody's going to recover it, right? And then that kid, J.C. Jackson, that Belichick raves about, another undrafted, he's a rookie out of Maryland. He's just running around chicken with head cut off. He doesn't know where he's going or who he's after. And then after a while, he kind of just loses focus and heart, and he doesn't chase anybody down. And it looked like the whole defense was saying, somebody else will get him. Somebody else will get him. No, Gronk's got to get him. It comes down to Gronk. Are you kidding me? And Gronk predictably just stumbles backwards, right? And I just said, this is impossible. A Bill Belichick defense just gave up a Miami miracle that canceled out what I thought was Tom Brady's best game of the year.
Okay.
He throws for 358, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He does what he is supposed to do to get them in position to win the game. And he had thrown, did you see, I don't know if you watched all the games, but the one to Cordell. This is a rocket. The one to Cordell, if we'd see, we're seeing the end of the miracle, and I've seen enough of that. Can we stop it? We have to burn that tape. Burn it.
The Miami Miracle, the Miami Sound Machine.
Look at that. Watch this to Cordero. Zing, zing, right on the fingertips. And you know what it led to at the end of the third quarter? The great Dan Fouts, one of your fellow Hall of Famers, one of the greatest throwers of the football ever. Am I right about that?
He was.
Could we hear what he said about Tom Brady's arm strength at the end of the third quarter? This is before the collapse, obviously. Boy, that was a throw.
Under a minute to go in the third. Brady, a bullet across midfield.
Nobody ever talks about Brady's arm strength, but he has still got it. That line drive shot to Edelman before 3 Dolphins can converge on the receiver. Another big throw by Brady.
Who knew?
Skip.
That's what I've been saying all year. His velocity is at least
Did you see Brady? Did you see him have to grit his teeth? Well, if you're going to tell every quarterback, I want you to throw the ball as hard as you possibly can, yeah, everybody has an arm strength.
But
it's got to be flick. Look at Mahomes. It's a flick.
Every day I have to come in here and hear either you or somebody sitting right here say, age is catching up to him. He's washed up. He's diminishing skills. No, he's not. He's exactly what he always was at age 41.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. If you're going to allow him to get a running start and throw the ball as hard as God will let him, yes, everybody in the NFL will look like they have arm
how you have to do it. He's still got it.
But he can't just flick it like...
You got me on the end of the first half. You got me because he had missed Hogan because he had a rusher right in his face on the previous down.
Well, hold on. Take that. No, I need you to slow that down. Okay. Slow it down.
You have to protect yourself. At 41, you're not going to take a kill shot right in the face. So he had to throw it too quickly, and he threw it high to Hogan, who was open along the back line. You know what?
What do you mean you're not
supposed to? This does emphasize once again what I've repeatedly told you. Tom Brady is human. That's why he's even greater than ever, because he's not on vibranium.
Are we gonna talk about those throwaways that he had?
Well, he just lives to play another.
Oh, but we criticize that.
He threw for 358 at Miami, the game that they always lose. He put them in position. He drove them for the clinching field goal. It's over.
And guess where he had lunch at? Where he had that brunch at, Skip Bayless?
Well, guess who beat him to the door?
He had
Bill Belichick.
He had eggs Benedict with a slice of ale. That would add them ales.
Bill Belichick is overrated. And once again, Tom Brady had overcome a defense. Would you believe this? Guess what Miami had yards per play yesterday? What? Yards per play. 9.2 yards per play. Every time they snapped the ball yesterday, they got 9.2 yards.
Hold on, Skip, but you don't want to say anything. But the Dolphins was 1 for 7 on third down.
Didn't
That's
matter.
14%.
9.2
the Patriots
yards.
blocked 2 punts.
Wow.
Set them up in great field position, and they ran 30 more plays.
Yep.
So who's at 30 more plays? And all you got is they got to come down to this. Where is Tom Brady? This happened on Tom Brady's watch.
Tom Brady nearly overcame Belichick once again.
And
Should have.
Coach Belichick nearly overcame him.
And Belichick got him in the end.
Tom Brady had 6 possessions with 6 points. The last 6 possessions of the game, he got 6 points. Is that goatish?
33-28, New England with 7 seconds left. That's all I know.
Out of that?
They need a pitch. They need a picture of Miami Miracle at Nikki Beach. All right, coming up next, Dak Prescott had an up and down game against the Eagles yesterday. You guys want the bad or the good first? What do you want?
Bad.
Bad? All right, that's what's in my teleprompter, so that's what we're going to go with.